Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the Anchor to Light meditation. So let's ask for divine blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Meiling, we thank you for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. Thank you for blessing us with a loving heart, an intelligent mind, and a powerful will, that we may be of service to others. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right, so thank you very much for joining me, and we're using my teacher's book, Achieve the Impossible, and wherever you are in the world, you just go find a pranic healing center. They should have this book. You can order it. You can order it from our bookstore too. And first of all, I want to apologize. We got a little backed up. I know a lot of you ordered everything at the same time. Then with some staff issues with COVID and all that stuff, so the family members, this and that. So anyway, things got slightly delayed, but everything got shipped out, so you should have it already. Okay, so this morning, I was reading from his book, and the part says, success is a manifestation of your growth and development. Success shows the degree to which you have mastered the teachings. I just want to build on that a little bit, because a lot of people don't realize that spirituality and prosperity are two sides of the same coin, okay? And most people think, oh yeah, you either be prosperous or you're spiritual. They don't realize you can be both. In fact, in order to have sustained prosperity, you need to have a spiritual component built in. Now, when I say prosperity, it's not only about money. Money is a very important part of it, but it's having the big picture. And the way my teacher taught it, in the affirmation he has for prosperity, basically says, I'm happy, I'm enjoying every part of my life, I have good health, and I'm filled with prosperity and abundance. So in order to have all of it, prosperity, abundance, you need to have a spiritual component. Without the spiritual component, you're going to encounter people, which I have met many of them. They have a lot of money. A few of them are billionaires, with a B. Now you realize, for some of you, you like to throw numbers out. Oh, 1 million, billion. Do you realize a billion is 1,000 millions? Okay? That's a lot of money. And yet, I met a few of them. They're not happy. They're miserable. I'm going, what the heck? And I talked to Tony Robbins about it. He says, exactly. He's coached a lot of people. He's coached a bunch of billionaires. And some of them, he would not envy any of their lives. They have money, but they're not happy. They're miserable. And the big part of it is there's no spiritual component. They party, they have fun, this and that. Okay, great. But once they're at home or they're by themselves, what happens? It's empty because there's no spiritual component. Make sense? So I just want to put that out there. It's because some of you say, oh, you talk about this money. I'm here for meditation, spirituality. In your case, if you got the meditation and spirituality part down, that's good. The question is, do you have the prosperity down? The money part, the abundance, because you want both, okay? And so let me just share a few things that my teachers taught me, because and I can say this, I've said it many times, I'll say it, I keep saying it. I am who I am today is because of the blessings of my teacher. He kicked my butt so many times, it aches. My basic chakra is like dent upon dent, but that's a big part of why my life changed. And so this morning, I was reflecting on our lecture. By the way, it's still available. I try to keep them all up there so you can go back and study it and do the meditation. I thought, man, I think I was a little too harsh on you guys. Maybe I was a little too hard. Huh? Then I thought about it. If I sugarcoat it, some of you might get the impression, oh, it's okay to be mediocre. It's okay not to put everything in. Then I'd be putting out the wrong message, because that's not how I live my life. That's not how my teacher taught me how to live my life. He says, live life intensely. Okay? Live life intensely, tempered by love and by intelligence, guided by intelligence. So you go all out. At the same time, you don't go all out and hurt people in the process. You go all out, you go for whatever your goals are. At the same time, the heart is always there, caring for people and make sure nobody gets hurt. And you use your head, so you're not like a charging locomotive with no steering wheel, no GPS. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, a few things that I want to share with you very quickly. And he said, remove your inner obstacles, then go for your target. When you remain calm, you're ready to focus on your target. Next, external obstacles are nothing compared to internal obstacles. You are your own limitation. If you think it cannot be done, it cannot be done. Your greatest limitation comes from within. I think all of us agree with that, right? Oftentimes, we think there's a big issue in front of us, but once somehow somebody explains to you, by the way, it's not as bad as you think. All you have to do is reformulate your plan, readjust, and you'll be fine. You go, click, click. Oh yeah, and suddenly what was supposed to be a big problem, it's like, whatever. Make sense? So a lot of these were in there. We'll expound on it. After the storm comes the stillness. After the heavy rain, there is growth. After unpleasant changes, there will be greater activity, greater success. And I was meditating on that, and I go, come to think of it, it reminds me many years ago of when my emotional body was panicking. You notice I'm careful with my words. I didn't say when I was panicking, because the I doesn't panic. It's the emotions and the thoughts that I created that are panicking. Okay? Anyway, I remember my teacher would come to the United States 3-4 times a year, and he would teach classes here. And of course, my job when he comes to this part of the country is to make sure that I've organized enough students for him to teach. So usually, like a month before, it's panic time, right? And I would call, Master, I need help. We don't have them people signing up. I know the teachings are priceless, but blah, 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 blah. I was going, and he goes, relax. Tell me what's going on. So I tell him, like a million miles per hour. I go, okay. I don't think he was listening. Then he goes like this. He goes, okay. Listen and listen carefully. A typhoon, because we're from the Philippines, right? A typhoon, a cyclone, hurricane, whatever you want to call it, a storm, does not go on perpetually. So instead of going crazy, you step back, observe, be still, let the typhoon pass. Once the typhoon passes, there'll be stillness. I'm going, what the heck does that have to do with the panic I have? Then I realized what he was trying to tell me. He's trying to tell me is, even though there are obstacles in front of me, by me focusing on the obstacle, it's going to get bigger because I'm adding to it. All I have to do is step back, observe, have the right viewpoint of what's going on, carefully observe, interpret properly, and then whatever that chaos is, let it pass. And he's done that at least 3 times. You would think I'd learn, right? The first time, after he told me to hang up, we go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Then calm down, observe. Okay, I'm going crazy over nothing. All we got to do is do this, reformulate it, and boom, become successful. Then a few years later, it happens again. I go, message you, guess what? And he goes, hey, remember, let the storm pass. And it just triggered what he told me. Yes, Master. He hangs up. It's like maybe a 30-second conversation. And that's exactly the point. Oftentimes, we have a tendency to panic, right? A big part of it, and listen carefully, a big part of it is because at that time, the soul lost control. In other words, the spiritual self that is observing the situation stopped observing. The soul allowed the emotions and the thoughts to take over. And when that happens, guess what? It's just like, as I always say, you have a bunch of horses with no charioteer. They're going all over the place. And that's usually where the obstacles are. The obstacles are created within, or reliving obstacles we created from the past. And without the ability to go back to who created those thoughts, guess what happens? Without that spiritual component, the emotions and the thoughts and the panic will drag you down. True? Not true. Those are the internal obstacles he was talking about. Those internal obstacles oftentimes are the thought forms we've created and the emotion forms we've created from past experiences, or when somebody was talking to you, they convinced you so much that you believed it, and basically you're walking around in a cocoon populated by those doubts. When in reality, people look at you from a distance, they go, what's this guy worried about? It's no big deal. Now, that's one reason why I say it's always so easy to give advice to people. Even though the circumstances are identical to yours, it's easy to give advice to someone else. You know why? Because if it's somebody's life, you're able to step back, look at it, and say, oh, by the way, this caused this, therefore this. What are you panicking? But if it's you, you know, Home Alone, get the idea? So the question is, how do you replicate the ability to look at someone's life from a third person when it's you? It's easy. You do the I am affirmation, which we always do, or oftentimes we do. I'm not the body. I'm not this body. I'm using this body. I'm not any of these emotions. I created these emotions. I'm not any of these thoughts. I created them. Whether they're happy thoughts, angry thoughts, stupid thoughts, or whatever thought and emotion. I created them. So the fact that I'm observing them, the observer cannot be what's observed. So right there and there, you're out of it. And you can look at it. Yeah. That's why you notice when you attend a lot of these healing classes and feel-good classes, they go, write a letter to yourself. You know that? Write a letter to your past self, future self, or whatever self. You know, there are many ways to do it. The question is, what the heck, what's that exercise for? It's very simple. To be able to pull the I, the spiritual self, of course, they're not going to tell you this, to pull the spiritual self out of the situation, look at it from a higher viewpoint, for a higher frequency, and you can say, this is just drama in the movie. It's just drama. This one caused this one, caused one. No big deal. All you got to do is rearrange it like a chessboard. Boom, finished. Isn't that what you do when you give someone advice? You go, this guy, they're making it too complicated. Just do this. And you go, when you're swimming in it, what happens? Completely different story, right? So all you do is do your meditation. There we go again. Do your spiritual practice. Pull yourself out of it. Realize that you're the mover of the body, feeler of the feelings, thinker of the thoughts. Observe what's going on. Assess it. And say, what are the possible options? If I were giving this dude some advice on how to handle this situation, what would I say? Don't think of it as you, somebody else. Then you go, right? Well, just imagine you're the soul, the spiritual self, looking at this crazy life that this person has. How should I rearrange this person's life so their life is be less chaotic? Boom, finished. That's what I call pragmatic spirituality. Because you're taking spiritual principles, deep fundamental spiritual teachings that you are the soul. You're the driver of your car, the captain of your boat, pilot of your spaceship. And the body is the car, the boat, the emotional body, the plane or the spaceship is your mental body. You get to drive, not they drive you. So with that, the obstacles are not in the soul. The obstacles are the creations of the soul. Did you guys get that? Makes sense, right? So it comes down to a simple as this. If I can create it, I can choose not to create it again. Done deal. Now, of course, in pranic healing or hatha yoga, we take it one step further. What happens to all the crap we created before? We disintegrate it. It's just deleting all those old programs. You heard me say this so many times. We've done this in deep emotional healing, right? You guys do that. A lot of you still practice. You better still be practicing it, right? And now we have the Prosperity Zen, where we actually have one called Poverty Consciousness Purge. So at least you get it in your head. Get it out of your system. Until you purge it, it's going to keep haunting you. True? So that's why, if you go to that, it's still playing every 4 hours, the Prosperity Zen workshop, the 2-hour workshop. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And we go to mastercode.org. You go there, guess what we're doing? After a brief explanation, we go to it practicing how to purge this unworthiness, thoughts and emotions, this procrastination thought forms, get it out of your system. And then teach you how to create the thought forms to imprint it in your system. Okay? And we'll add one more thing. This weekend, this weekend, or actually now, it's available. The relationship healing that we used to charge for, we're offering it for you guys for free. You just go to masterco.org. There's a relationship healing. It's 2 full hours. One for learning to love yourself, and the other one's to learn how to create meaningful connections with others. And guess what we did on both of them? Same thing. When you learn to love yourself, you have to first purge all the self-hatred that you have. Because all of us screw up. It's called guilt. Right? So until you purge that out, none of your affirmations will work. You go, I've been doing these affirmations for 20 years, not working. Yeah, because you have all that crap inside. You haven't cleaned your closet. So anyway, it doesn't cost you anything. Go to masterco.org. You can sign up. Again, we always put in a closed room because we don't want, crazy people who got nothing else to do but complain, attend. I just want serious people who want to do the work. They go in. The first part is learning to love yourself. Second part is your partner. Same thing. You want to improve the relationship? Stop shooting arrows. I love you, honey. How dumb is that? You keep saying, when you're in front of him, I want to improve this. And behind him, you go, that piece of crap, he's good for nothing. He blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You're dumping all these thought forms into his aura or her aura, and you expect them to love you. What universe do you live in that you're planting oranges, you start to expect apples? That's not a dumbass thought. I can't think of another one. Same thing. If that person is shrouded with all those negative thoughts and emotions, you cannot expect him to improve. So that's why we start with what? Purging again. And you create the positive thoughts through meditation, and those what you implant in both your auras. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. This applies to everything in existence. I mean, as simple as you walk into an elevator or a lift. If it's full of people, you won't be dumb enough to squeeze your way in. What are you going to do? Okay, you guys, get out. Then you go in. And yet what we try to do with our life is, I want to make things better. You stuff yourself with so much positive energy, but you have not pooped the old energy out. Where's the good energy going to go? It gets spat out of your aura again. Why do you think people keep making New Year's resolution and then they never do? Or even if they did, for a short time. Because it goes in, boing. You like the sound effect? Get the point? So these internal obstacles are basically what we created with our thoughts and emotions. Now, listen carefully, and we'll do our meditation. If you really understood what was just shared with you, then you realize that the people who do a lot of blaming, blame this, blame that, blame this, blaming other people, is because they don't get this simple fact. They always blame problems on everyone else. They don't realize, I created those thoughts, I created those emotions. Yeah, but they made me do it. You still had to do it. You still had the choice. Okay, I want to beat this guy up, but might not be a good idea. I want to scream at this person. Might still not a good idea. You still have a choice. Make sense? That's why one of the earmarks, or one of the ways you know someone is spiritually developing, is as simple as this. You're not going to like it though. They take responsibility. I screwed up. I messed up. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I shouldn't have thought that way. Oh, I should have done better. Instead of saying, yeah, but he did it, or she did that. Those are people who usually do not have control over their body, their emotions, and thoughts. So that when something happens, automatically the emotions and thoughts, create these thoughts and emotions, and they go, see, they made me do it. But they don't have the awareness to say, yeah, true, they insulted me, but I still have a choice of what options to take. People don't like to hear that. You know why? Because that means I have to grow. But if I blame you, I don't have to grow. I don't have to work hard. Something doesn't work. It's your fault, buddy. They made you do it. They did. My parents, no, it's their fault. Society's fault. Well, because I'm not white, I'm not red, I'm not blue or green or yellow, whatever. That's why this, that's why that. It never ends. Because the spiritual component is missing. When the spiritual component is strong, they realize, okay, I am a soul going through a physical, emotional, mental journey in this incarnation. I choose what actions to take, what emotions and thoughts I create. Any screw-ups, I take responsibility for. That's not easy. That's not easy. I'm the first one to tell you, it's not easy. I remember when the first time my teacher was chastising me, reprimanding me because I screwed up big time. I was like, well, Master, you don't understand. He just listened. He looked at me. He didn't even say anything. And that pretty much means that, nope, not taking it. Then in the end, I go, yeah, Master, you're right. Yeah, I should have done better. Then he started talking to me. When I was giving excuses, at one point he goes, why should I listen to your excuse? If I want excuse, I can make it myself. Wookie. Get the idea? Just like if you have children. Think about it. When your kids keep blaming whatever bad thing they did on other children or whatever else, what do? You go, hey. So what do? You stay on it. If you have to reprimand them, try to punish them, whatever you do it, because they have not owned up. But once they owned up, the hammer doesn't have to hit so hard. True? Because they owned up. Go, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I should have done better. I know there are consequences. I accept them. But truly know that I've learned my lesson. I won't do it again. What would your perception be towards this kid? Is she going to go, no, you're going to go, okay, you sure you got it? Okay, I'll watch you for this amount of time, see if you really learned. If they learned it, isn't that what you want? Same thing. Taking responsibility for one's screw-up is basically a manifestation of soul growth. Yeah, simple as that. I messed up. Sorry. I'll do better. That's how you remove internal obstacles, because you are teachable. Some people are not teachable. Have you ever talked to some people? You're not even halfway done with your sentence. They go, I know. When I meet people like that, especially in class when I'm talking, and I'm thinking, why'd you bother coming to class and pay? You should have just stayed home. You know everything. Yeah, but I want to know this. And go, okay, then please, you want the duct tape technique? If they don't want to shut up, you know what I do? I go, during the break, I say, okay, namaste. I think you know everything. Here's your refund. Sayonara. Oh, no, I want to stay. Now they're quiet. Make sense? The question is, as the soul, are we teachable? Now, what's it got to do with what we just talked about earlier? I want to focus on one thing. After a storm is calmness and stillness. And whether you like it or not, as we go through this journey on earth, things don't always go our way, right? I don't care how many cajillion affirmations you do, it's not going to work every time it goes your way. It's just what it is. That's why there's yin and yang. You move with it. You flow with it, right? But you will notice, if you look at an obstacle, a certain problem, a challenge, and you deal with it properly and solved it, next comes stillness. Now, the funny part is something like this. When you keep practicing that stillness, next time another challenge comes aboard, you'll notice that stillness allows you to be not in panic mode. I know a lot of you are from Greece and you keep remembering my story. In fact, I remember Kiara responded to this. Many years ago when we were in Greece, we're doing a full moon meditation, 600 people in the room waiting, and plus who knows how many thousands of people outside connect on the internet. And I remember I was with Yorgos, her husband, and he's the calmest guy I know. Okay, and the internet would not connect, it would not work. So I was looking at him, I was waiting for him to panic. He's not panicking. I wasn't panicking. So both of us looking at each other. Okay, how about this? Maybe we didn't connect this. Okay, and then he goes, no, how about that? Bear in mind, clock is ticking. We're supposed to start at 6:30. I think it was 6:30. It was like 6:27, 6:28. And I was looking at the clock. I was looking at him. He was calm. I was calm. I said, okay, let's keep going. I think at 6:29 or something like that. Click, it worked. Now, I was thinking, I look back, I go, If he panic or I panic, it could still work, but the probability of us plugging the wrong stuff in or typing the wrong URL, whatever, is much, much higher. Make sense? So after the storm is calmness and stillness. And then as you keep doing this over and over again, the stillness and the calmness last longer and longer within you to handle the next crisis or the next challenge. And all of that comes with practice through your spiritual practice, your meditation. So when we practice that stillness part of the meditation, don't do what I did the first few years. I was so dumb. What I used to do is this. You know the meditation Twin Hearts? There's 3.5 minutes of silence, right? And Message Show made a CD and a cassette tape long time ago. And what I would do, I'm probably his worst student. So I'm at home practicing, right? I play it. Just be still, be aware, let go. I know there's 3.5 minutes. So what I do, I fast forward. Okay, return to your body. Okay, I'm in my body. That's there. Done. My teacher would ask me, so did you do your meditation? Yes, master. When? Every day. He didn't say how. Then many years later, I'm going, you dumbass. You wasted all those years of meditation. That silence could have brought you a lot further. That's why when you hear me keep telling you guys, be still. Practice that part, because I realize the mistake I made and how bad it was. That's it. Because once you are able to experience that stillness, if there's a crisis in front of you, if there's a challenge in front of you, all you have to do is do something very, very simple. Is before you react, you just kind of step back. In your consciousness, go back to that time when you've done your meditation, when you're experiencing that stillness and like pure nothingness. And bring it to your present. And you'll be shocked how calm you are, how clear you are. Because consciousness transcends time and space. Shall we meditate? We'll do the great invocation, okay? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Master Tokok Sui Mahaguja Meiling, we thank you for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. Okay, sit comfortably. All right, for some of you who've just joined us, I know I've explained this a few times, but it's not obvious because a lot of people are still, fixated on the 7 chakras. You have at least 11 major ones and thousands of minor ones, okay? So whatever you read in books, those are good when you're starting, okay? So this one is called Ajna Chakra. Most people mistakenly call third eye. The real third eye is up here. So Ajna is AJNA, or if you're from India, I know you're correcting me already. It's not Ajna, it's Agnya. Well, my body's Chinese, so deal with it. Ajna Chakra, forehead, crown. Okay? So one here, one here, one here. When I say from a point of light, is this guy. Point of love is this guy. For the center where the will is here. So intelligence, love, and power. Now, if you want to know more about this, attend the higher classes in pranic healing. We'll explain the different chakras, especially in pranic psychotherapy, how you have intelligent will or mental will. Your solar plexus is also will. That's emotional will. Both are power. One is emotional power, one is mental. This forehead chakra is intuition, so is this one on crown. This intuition has pictures. You call it clairvoyance. This intuition has no pictures, just means I know it. Why? Because it is. So these upper centers are the ones that are highly activated when you do the great invocation. So that's that. The rest of it, later on, we'll talk about it. But now I want you to get to practice so more energy can flow through you, purify your aura and your chakras so you have more clarity and you also have more greater healing ability. Okay? Shall we? Put your hands like this. Put your attention on your crown. We will do the I am affirmation as taught to us by my teacher, Grandmaster Tokok Sui. Put your attention on your crown. I am that. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I'm not the thoughts. I am the soul. Now allow your awareness to just drift on its own above your head. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that, the soul. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark, the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God, meaning we're all still growing and evolving. I am one with God, always been one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. Any separation or divisions are just illusions. I am one with God. I am that. Be still. We are one. Now just imagine all of us, beings of light, just pure energy and spiritual light, are inside the big bright sun, a bigger light. Say we are one with God, we are one with the solar logos, or in Egypt it's called Amen Ra, God manifesting through the sun, or in Theosophy it's called the central spiritual sun. Just say I am one with God in the sun. Open your hands in blessing. Visualize the earth in front of us. Now project a brilliant beam of light collectively through the sun and shining on the entire earth. Let's chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 Be aware of your Ajna chakra in your hands. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. Be aware of your forehead. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. Be aware of your crown. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. Now, so be it. Just be still. Be continuously aware of the ajna, forehead, and crown chakras in your hand. Just let the energy flow through. You might feel a stretching, a slight pressure, slight tingling. Just let the blessings flow through us. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being. So be it. Let goodwill and willingness to do good flow through us now. From the center which we call the human race and all the different races, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore the divine plan on earth now. So be it. Be still. Let it flow through us. Keep your tongue on your palate. Maintain your stillness and awareness. As we do it again, be aware of your Ajna chakra in your hands. Project light. From the point of light within the mind of God, let love stream forth into the heart, into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. Be aware of your forehead and your hands. Project love. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. Be aware of your crown, and your hands project goodwill. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters and the spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. Now, so be it. Just keep your tongue on your palate. Let the energy keep flowing through us. Bless your family, your relatives and friends, your business, your job. Bless all the people who are sick. Bless the caregivers, the essential workers. Bless all our leaders on all levels. May all beings be blessed. Now, for the third round, just leave your attention above your head. The rest will be done for you. Just be receptive. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth in the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May God's messenger of love descend on earth now. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters and the spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good throughout the entire earth now. So be it. Just be still. From the center which you call the human race and all the different races, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore the divine plan and manifest the divine plan on earth. Now, so be it. Just be still. Just let the energy flow. It's getting more intense. Let's chant Om as you maintain that connection. Om. 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 Just be still. Now lower your hands on your lap. Just keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just be still. And just keep looking at a beautiful miniature sun floating above your head. The distance doesn't matter. Just imagine a little golden sun floating above your head. Put your entire attention in that golden sun. That beautiful golden light. And listen. Om. Ah. Om. 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 Ahum. Om. Ahum. Be still. Just be aware of the inner stillness, the inner peace, and just simply let go. Let things be now. Gently, very, very slowly, very gently and slowly come back to your body. Gently move your fingers and move your toes. Take your time, gently and slowly slide back into your body now. Take your time. Maintain that stillness. Remember that stillness. Know that at any given time, you can access this stillness and bring it to any of your present awareness. At any given time, at any given situation or circumstance. Because you are the soul. So it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Tokok Sui Mahaguji Mening, thank you all for the blessings in full faith. And so it is. Okay. I would say depends. I hope you like the special sauce we added in to just kind of crank up the energy a little bit. That was a short meditation. Actually, that was only 15 minutes, if that. So we make it up by adding secret sauce, special energy. That's the difference between just a regular meditation and when we do it as a group and we add extra energy. All right, so before I let you go, again, just as a reminder, so 6 p.m., the Anchor the Light evening, it's going to be the Chinese New Year meditation. So what will happen is the morning one will make it prosperity healing. Remember, we're flipping it. So instead of emotion healing for evening, we'll have the Chinese New Year talk. It's the year of the ox, the year of the bull, whatever you want to call it. You know, I know some of you will tell you there's a difference. Whatever. You call it a yak if you want to. Anyway, the concept is it's an animal with two big horns and charges forward. Okay. Anyway, so that's going to be 6 o'clock this Friday. And the relationship healing is already, I hope I'm saying this right, it should be available now. You go to magico.org, you see it, you register, you access the 2 videos, watch it. The first one you do with yourself. You know, don't drag your partner yet, because that is basically taking inventory of our strengths and weaknesses, what we bring to the relationship, because oftentimes we keep asking so much of the other person, we didn't give anything to contribute. That's important to know. So we need to do a self-examination. That's the first part. The second video is how to connect with the other person, how to look at their positive qualities, not just the negative ones. Because unfortunately, if the relationship's been there for a while, we have a tendency to put a microscope on every screw up, even though, oh, you forgot to put the lid down in the toilet. World War III. Sounds familiar? You kind of forgot all the good things the other person did for you. So anyway, it's a very powerful session. We used to charge for it. Now we're going to give it to you for free. It's going to be available from the day you sign up for 7 days. Okay? So I want you to really practice it, because it's important not only to have money, to have inner peace, stillness, good health. It's also good to have meaningful relationship with yourself and other people. All right. And I think that's it. And the Prosperity Zen, the free 2-hour workshop is still going on. Just all of that in Massico.org. All right. I think I've done my job. All of you should have enough tools to work with so far. Regardless, we will see you Wednesday. Okay. Today's only Monday. Okay. We'll see you Wednesday morning, Wednesday evening, same Anchor the Light. We'll do more intense meditation and practice.